Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of the Strand Tennis Center podcast, filled with tips, advice, tennis, not tennis, just life advice too, whatever you need. Like it on YouTube, share it on the podcast as well. Thank you. Hello, Santi. Welcome to the Strand Tennis Center podcast. It's a solo expedition. I have no co-pilot today. I have just a couple of thoughts. Again, these aren't super long podcasts. It's probably what's on top of mind, what I'm dealing with. You kind of deal with things. There's a lot of ebb and flow in businesses, and you're dealing with a lot of moving parts and a lot of things going on. And the only constant is you, right? So you can't really... This is a combination of both, right? This is business-oriented, and then we'll probably do another thing just on tennis, but this one's business-oriented. The only thing you really can control is kind of you in regards to a business. So when things are going well, it's easy to kind of run a business. It's really kind of... It's fine. Like, things are great when they're going well. The thing is, you have to react the same way when they're going well or they're going bad. This is a kind of a... controlling your emotions, and you can equate this to anything, on the court, off the court, in business. You've got to maintain the proper leadership, and this is the big discussion in business now. There's a lot of discussion with these open, decentralized systems in regards to blockchain and all these things. I don't know if you've heard of something. Have you heard of DeFi and DAOs and all these things, these decentralized businesses where they're run by a group, like Flamingo's a DAO, and there's some great people running it. So in other words, they get together on the open system in blockchain, and they make decisions as a team, basically, as a group. The DAO makes the decision together. It's not one central leader. Like Twitter's run by one company, right? Jack Dorsey runs it. It's not kind of a group decision. I think it sounds great in a utopian society, but I think you need leadership. I don't think you can run things by committee. And in regards to business, you have to have strong leadership. You have to have people that want to contribute, and you have to be welcome to listen to that. But at some point, someone has got to be the leader. And when things go bad, you have to stay strong, and you have to stay under control. Because if your leader gets out of control... And it's just like playing a match on a tennis court. If you lose control when things are going bad, it's going to go real bad real fast. So a lot of these things in regards to tennis and business are like life. You have to maintain control because things will go bad. Like when we were closed for 4 weeks, right? Closed for a month. You could either go, oh, the government's got me down, this is the worst, life's over, or you can figure out what to do. You can figure out how to go, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what we're going to do when we're going to come back. I'm going to stay connected to my clients until we can open this club up. I'm going to send out videos. I'm going to do training from online. I was doing training online, right? With just some even shadow tennis work online with people, like showing them videos and sending them to them. Like, it's how you're going to respond to those things. Business is always going to come at you with something. It's always going to get drop kicked in the head every other day, Santi. And if you're not prepared for that, you're going to have trouble. And I think now it's kind of sexy to be like running your own business and doing your own thing. But it's a very, very tough job. Could be a very lonely job. It's all on you. You're the last line of defense. There is a lot of things that are not fun about it. I wouldn't recommend it for everybody because everybody's different. Like, I think people are great value working for somebody. They do a great job. They have a great life. Running the thing and running your own business. I mean, I could talk on this podcast right now and have 12 things in my head. Right now, there's 12 things in my head going on that I know that I'll have to tie off or have to do, right? That's constant. It's always going on. I'll go out to dinner with people, and it's no big deal. That's just the way life is, and I'm just like, all right. That's why I've always, it's weird. That's why I don't drink a lot. I don't do anything because I know I have to get up. I know I have to do this. I know I have to do that. I cannot, drop my guard at all. It's weird, when I forget what it was. I think, I didn't have my phone for 2 or 3 hours, and like I was like behind the whole, like I missed like 4 or 7 different things. It's crazy. Like it's insane how if you're not constantly aware, like being on or off, like if I'm on the court, like I'll be doing my lesson very well or just walking around. But if I do my lesson very well, I will be aware of the 70 other 5 things that are going on the court. And that's just, you have to be able to do that. And I start to enjoy that. And then my problem as a leader sometimes is I expect everyone else to enjoy that. And that's on me sometimes. I enjoy the 75 things in my head. Some people don't. And that's why I think people, that's why this is just kind of not a public address announcement to warn people, say you have to be comfortable with chaos. Because that's what running a business is. It's kind of, and I was just listening to another podcast, I forget what it was. I think it was Brian Armstrong from Coinbase, very successful. Obviously, it went public. He said running a business is just varying degrees of failure and moving forward. And that's what it is. You're just failing all the time, but you're not stopping and you're moving forward. It's constant pressure, constant failures, constant this, constant that. You have to be comfortable with that misery. And I'll throw a little tennis in here, like Nadal said in a great interview. He goes, it's misery. Tennis is misery. But you have to love that. And if you don't love it, you're not going to outwork everyone else. If you're going into something for like, I want to travel the world and I want to be able to make a ton of money and I'd like to be able to take this off and that off, you're never going to get there. You're never going to work at ours because you have to love the chaos and the misery of the whole thing because it's too hard. It's too much work. It's too much work to do all of that to get some sort of monetary result because you might as well just work for somebody and make some money and, have a couple of things that you want because all of this is just, it's rough. But I love it. So that's the thing. You have to love the roughness of it. So the best way to me, I guess this is a topic on leadership. The best way to be a good leader is to internalize that, but be honest with everybody and not lose control when things get chaotic because that's what happens. Because if you lose control when things are chaotic, everyone below you will be like, I can't trust this guy. I can't rely on him. I can't believe in him. What am I going to do when things get really, really bad? This guy is a mess. So you always have to trust the chaos. Hello, Santiago. Yes, right there, Santiago. You realize I'm talking to a microphone? No. Okay. Santiago doesn't even realize that's the best. He doesn't realize I'm talking into it. But that's when we talk about leadership. You see, something just happened, and I utilized it. And went with it. He needed a paper towel. That's the best place. If we had an official sound room and an official quiet room, it wouldn't be real, Santi. That's what chaos is. I need a Band-Aid. I need a towel. I need this. I need that. So that's a perfect example of it, right? Things are going to happen all the time, and you have to be willing to accept it, deal with it, relish it, and then go after this, chaos will be stronger. And you're stronger a little bit. You get stronger every little time. We've been open something, I don't know, 14 years, 15 years. And I feel like we're just getting it right. You know what I mean? It takes a long time. Like if you do something for a year, you're not like it's like a business is like a baby, right? It's like a kid. So when you run the business in the beginning, you have to give the employees and all of those things extra special attention because it's like a child, right? So you're treating it like a child. When you treat a baby, you take care of it. You make sure it doesn't fall down. You pick it up. You grab. You're very worried about it. Now we're kind of like teenagers, right? So I'm letting people do more things, and they'll make mistakes, but that's okay, right? Because you're gonna stub your toe, and you're 14 or 15, you'll go out and you'll not tell your parents, or you'll make these mistakes, and that's the way this business is now. It's like an adolescent, right? So it's kind of on its own. It's almost adult, but it's not really adult. So you can let people go do things and let them fail a little bit because we have an umbrella of kind of like a little bit of safety now. And then when we get older, when it's like 25, 26, you guys will be like in charge. How I see it, you guys would be in charge, right? And then you don't need a parent. You're on your own. A business is just like a kid. And that's why it becomes so important to you and so special to you, because it's like a family. You're like raising children here. It's like, it's everything to you. It's his second family. It's crazy because you're nurturing and you're giving it all your love, all your life, everything you have is into it. So it's an incredibly rewarding thing, but I still don't think it's for everybody, because you could lose your mind real quick. So that's basically, I want to talk about leadership a little bit, business-wise. We'll probably do a little bit more on tennis and a little bit later, but that's the big thing. So if you're thinking about running a business, be really sure who you are. Really look at yourself and go, is the fantasy, I always tell people, is the fantasy better than the actual thing? I know people that have good jobs and they talk about all these businesses and these ideas, and I'm like, I think the fantasy may be better, because you're having a good time, you're hanging out, you're just talking about starting a business. Be really sure that you can't breathe or live without it. If you can't breathe, you can't live, you can't function, then do it. But if it's just fun and a fantasy to talk about, wouldn't it be great? I wouldn't do it. So I would say most people shouldn't start a business. But I'm in it, Santi. I'm in it for good. I love it. Thanks, guys. Hopefully that helps with leadership. Hopefully it helps with self-awareness and knowing what you want, and be really clear and sure what you want before you go do it. You have to. And you're going to make mistakes. If you decide to do it, you're going to make tons of mistakes. Don't let mistakes stop you from doing anything, because that's, like I said, that's all it is. It's just a series of mistakes. And keep going and keep going and keep going. If you want to do this, be sure, though. Thanks, guys. Hey, everybody. Hope you like the podcast. Please share it with your friends, anybody that you know, anybody that's into tennis, anybody that's into bettering themselves. Share it.